Hey guys, it's Holly, and today I have a really exciting video to show you of some drawings and projects and basically a bunch of stuff that I've been working on over the last few weeks for you guys. Now, recently LEGO has come out with a Marvel Studios CMF series, and the entire thing was based off Disney Plus shows, which I know came as a shock to me and quite a few other people, as we were hoping to see sort of like an Infinity Saga type of thing with characters from a bunch of different movies rather than just the brand new shows. And while I absolutely love this CMF, I was thinking about it and there were so many characters that I could think of that we haven't gotten that I would really love to see in LEGO's form. And a couple of weeks ago I started to rewatch every single Marvel movie, which I did in chronological order, and while I was watching them I just really wanted to make something. So I started drawing, which has been something that I've been doing a lot of recently, and ended up making my own version of the Marvel Studios CMF. This isn't like a series 2 to the one that already existed. This is basically just what if Holly made the CMF herself. AKA, what if the Marvel CMF series was MCU based instead? Now, this series has a range of different characters from a bunch of different films, as well as 2 figures from upcoming TV shows. I didn't want to do anyone from existing sort of shows that are already out because, you know, LEGO's already done that. I felt like I didn't need to. So I took a range of characters from the existing MCU films that we've already gotten out of phase 1, 2, 3. I don't think I've got any phase 4 besides the 2 TV show characters, and I really hope you guys enjoy these figures. I spent a lot of time making them, so let's go check them out. So just like LEGO's own CMF series, I've made 12 different figures, so let's go have a look at them all, starting off with one of my favorite characters, and that is Spider-Man in the homemade suit. And this is one of the figures that pretty much inspired me doing an entire set of 12, is because I really wanted to make this suit. I'm surprised that we still haven't got it, especially after the No Way Home sets came out. I hope that one day we can get some sort of Infinity Saga set or Homecoming set with this suit, but this figure has dual molded legs with the red and a medium blue, a brand new printed torso, printed arms with his homemade web shooters, and a recoloring of that hidden side hood piece in red, and then brand new printing for the face and torso print. Next up, we have Kate Bishop from the upcoming Disney Plus show Hawkeye, and it was really hard to draw this figure just based off sort of all of the set images, but I personally think I did a pretty good job considering we haven't seen a proper photo of her outfit yet. And there were 2 different variations of Kate Bishop photos that I could find. Majority of them had the hair down, but I later found one that had her hair up, which I personally think worked a lot better because then I could use the Barbara Gordon hairpiece for her in black, and also meant I could use a black quiver on the back of her neck, which I think just ties the whole figure together a lot better. And she comes along with the long brown bow as her accessory and has printed legs, arm printing, and a brand new torso and head print. Next up is Odin from Thor: The Dark World, and I've had to cut off a bit of his staff here because it is quite large, but Odin has beautiful dual molded legs with printing on the front and hip printing, a new torso print, as well as some really brief arm printing on the bottom part of the arm. He also has a dark red version of like those Mandalorian capes from Star Wars. He has a brand new face print, and he has a white recoloring of the old Luke / Sirius black hair piece, and Odin actually comes along with a brand new staff, which is based heavily off the Loki scepter one from the original Avengers sets. However, this one is all made as one piece. It also is extremely tall. Going back to phase 1, our next figure is Maria Hill. Now, this is actually a remade, updated version of the one that came in the S.H.I.E.L.D. Helicarrier set from years and years ago. This version of Maria this time actually has some additional arm printing, as well as an updated, sort of more simplified, cleaner looking torso. I've also given her some hip printing, dual molded legs, and side leg printing even, because there's a lot of detail on her shoes there. She has a brand new face print as well that makes her look a bit more realistic, I feel, as well as that updated sort of like bride slicked back hairpiece that we used on Cho Chang in the advent calendar last year, when this time it's recolored in dark brown to sort of replicate that bun look that she had in the Avengers. Her accessories, nothing special, just being the radio that she communicates with Nick Fury on at the beginning of the film. Next up, we have another character which heavily inspired me to make this series, and that is Howard Stark from Captain America: The First Avenger. Now, Now, I cannot believe that we have not had a Howard Stark figure yet, and I feel like someday I would really love to see a Captain America First Avenger sort of Infinity Saga set, which is actually the main reason that I decided to make this version of Howard. Now, this is based off his appearance when we first see him during Cap's transformation, and he has that sort of tousled Superman hairpiece in dark brown. Even though I didn't draw it in my head, he has an alternate face with the sunglasses on, and then he has just a plain printed torso, and his accessory is actually the generic Captain America shield before they sort of painted it and everything. So it is just plain vibranium with some dark bluish gray lines, and that is meant to be in a metallic silver. Even though he doesn't have it in this scene, I thought it was the best fitting accessory for Howard. And to go along with Howard as well, we do have pre-serum Steve. Now, I know we got a pre-serum Steve based off the What If ones, but to me, it wasn't completely accurate. Pre-serum Steve is quite skinny and quite short, so for this version, I've actually given him dual molded mid-legs. He comes along with as well with his army helmet, since, you know, he looked really oversized and was wearing it a lot during his training. Printed on his torso, there's a lot of dirt from lying around doing his push-ups. He's also got some of his dog tags. He's also got dual molded arms to give him those white sleeves, a brand new face print, and just that simple, good old Mutt Williams hairpiece. Now, because Black Widow hasn't had a very accurate figure throughout the entirety of her lifetime, I really wanted to have a go at making Black Widow from Captain America the Winter Soldier. Now, I've seen a lot of people using the Rachel hairpiece from Build a Minifigure in bright orange to sort of make a Winter Soldier figure, and I love it, but the color is not accurate. So this time I've recolored it in the dark orange to sort of suit her a bit better. I've also given her a brand new face print, as well as custom torso printing and leg printing, which is similar to the ones from the Avengers 2012 sets. However, it's updated to match her Winter Soldier appearance. Going along as well, the recent Avengers game Black Widow figures, I've also given her some arm printing at the bottom, and she comes with two sort of like pistols, guns. I don't really want to call them guns because I know LEGO's not a huge fan of violence, but you know, they're quite signature of her from her Spy Day, so I decided to give them to her here. Up next is our second figure from an upcoming Disney Plus show, and that is Kamala Khan as Miss Marvel. Now, just like Kate Bishop, we haven't seen official photos for her yet, and hopefully her show is still coming out at the end of 2021, though I feel like it's looking like it's going to be more 2022, so it was quite hard to find proper images of her outfit, but again, I think I did a reasonable job here. Now, as Kamala Khan is a teenager, just like Steve, I've given her some mid-legs this time around. She also comes with a brand new cape piece to act as her little scarf, and a brand new hairpiece too, which is shorter in the front and longer in the back to sort of give her that look that she does in the set photos here. Then, just like the rest of the figure, she has a brand new torso print as well as a brand new face print. Heading back to films we've already seen, and up next we have Ego from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and I'm a huge fan of this figure. We didn't get him in the sets, and that's purely because I feel like it would have been a massive spoiler at that point, because we didn't really know too much about Peter's dad, let alone the fact that he was the main villain from that film. Now, Ego's got dual molded legs, arm printing, and a dark blue version of those Mandalorian capes. He also has a recoloring of the Han Solo hairpiece in order to sort of create that giant mullety wave type of thing, and his accessory is actually a pink Technic ball, and that is to represent him as a planet. So yeah, it's kind of meta that there's two versions of Ego with one figure, but I thought it was a pretty fitting accessory for him. Next up, we've got Okoye from Black Panther, and this is a figure I would have really loved to see in a Disney Marvel CMF. I feel like she's so detailed and was so underdone in the actual figure from the sets that it's such a shame. I feel like Okoye deserves so much better here. And that's one of the main reasons that I wanted to include her in sort of my own variation of the Marvel CMF. Now, her torso is actually incredibly similar to the one in the set, so much so that I actually took the printing and then just sort of added a few extra details. I added some silver shine to her belt buckle. I also added red to her sort of neckline underneath her necklace, as well as a few additional details around the waistband. And then I've given her brand new printed legs, sort of continuing on that pattern, as well as some printed arms and even shoulder armor, which is actually actually the Ninjago shoulder armor pieces. However, in my head, I feel like they would be a sort of new mold, getting rid of that sword holder that you have on the back of them, just to make it a bit more cleaner and look a bit more like the Dora Milaje's sort of outfit there. And then it's not Okoye without her trusty spear, which is what I've given her as an accessory in gunmetal grey. And she also comes with a brand new face print, which is slightly less angry than the one they gave her in the set, a little bit more relaxed in my opinion, and I feel like it works a bit better here. Heading over now to Thor Ragnarok, and we have Korg from that film, and it's quite a shame that we didn't actually get this figure at any point. I would have loved to have seen this outfit, and this Korg as well is using that brand new headpiece from the Bro Thor's house set, which just works perfectly. I imagine we'll see it up in the future. And then to further decorate Korg, I've given him his little shoulder armor there with that piece, brand new printed torso, printed arms as well to continue on that sort of rock pattern, unlike the Bro Thor's house. He's also got Luke Skywalker's little utility belt in dark brown, as well as a dark brown skirt piece to sort of continue on that little bit of cloth that he has. And then at the bottom he's got sort of like dual molded legs, but then there's like triple layers of printing. You know, there's a lot to sort of make Korg look the absolute best he can be. Then his accessory was a tough one. I kind of wanted to give him that giant blaster gun that he has at the end when he says the revolution has begun, but looking at a lot of the hot toys and sort of action figures that have been made of Korg, a lot of them contained his bat, which is why I've sort of gone for that and created a new mold for him too. And last but not least, this is probably a controversial one, but is one that I really would have loved to see in the Marvel CMF, and that is the Collector, because the only version of the Collector we've actually gotten was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. So this version, I've sort of based it on that, but just zhuzhed him up a bit and given him a bit more extra care, because I feel like that one was actually very, very underdone for a Comic-Con figure. So this version of the Collector has a brand new cape, which is looking very sort of tattered and worn down. He's also just got plain black legs this time, because I feel like there wasn't really anything special to add printing wise on his legs. His torso is very similar to the version from San Diego Comic-Con, however the colors are a bit more accurate, as well as the printing this time around. His face has been updated this time. I've updated the colors of the eyebrows. I've also given him a lot more detailing, giving him some forehead lines this time around, as well as defining his cheekbones a lot more. Since Benedict Del Toro has a really defined face shape, I wanted to sort of bring that into the minifigure form here. His hairpiece as well is a brand new hairpiece, which is heavily inspired by the mullet hairpiece, but basically just chops off the entire mullet hairpiece, brings the front sides down a bit, and changes up the direction in which the hair is going. For his accessory, I thought the orb would be a bit plain to do, since it would just be a silver Technic ball. So this time around, I've actually given him a tiny brick-built ether, which is just made up of sort of 2 plates and a tile on the top to sort of wrap it all together. So those are all of the 12 figures that I would have loved to see in the Marvel CMF if it was MCU based. This is sort of my pick. It's my own little series that I would have loved to have gotten or done, and just some figures that I'd love to see in the future in general. So this is my take on all of them. I'm really excited, especially for when the Hawkeye and Miss Marvel shows come out, so I can sort of see their costumes a bit better. Probably go and update them as well once we get a better and closer look at these guys. But I'm incredibly proud of what I was able to do with these figures. I love how they all turned out, and I really hope that some of them are going to appear in sets in the future, because I feel like, especially in the case of Spider-Man and Howard Stark and even Odin and Korg, like these are very prominent characters and outfits that we just haven't gotten, and I'd really love to see them in the future. So that is my take and interpretation of a Marvel Studios CMF, and if you guys enjoyed this and any of the drawings, please give me a thumbs up and let me know which of your figures is your favorite down below. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel down below. And until next time guys, I'll see you later.